welcome back to my channel. My name is Liv if you are new here. Who is ready for some fall book shopping? So I myself have not been physically book shopping in quite some time. I think it's been at least a month since I've stepped foot into a bookstore. I may have ran into Barnes & Noble for a new release or something at some point, but it's been a long time since I've just grabbed a coffee and wandered around the bookstore. So today we are gonna go book shopping and I'm gonna take you along with me. We could almost call this video bookstore hopping because I am planning to go to Barnes & Noble. I have a couple totes that I'm going to be taking to Mr. K's that are full of about 30 books at least. That is our local secondhand bookstore where I'm hoping to get some store credit. And then we're also going to go to Second and Charles, which is right next door to Mr. K's. So of course I'm going to go in there as well. My friend Kendal is also going to join us because she has a couple books she wants to get as well, and the more the merrier. Like, it's always more fun book shopping with a friend. So we have deemed this as our last hurrah for the year. I'm not really planning to buy any more books except for maybe a couple new releases. There is a couple new releases I'm hoping will be out today early, but we're just gonna see what we can find. I'm not gonna be buying a lot more books the rest of the year. I'm trying to utilize my library more, and I've just been spending a lot on books this year. So this is like the last time for a while I'm gonna be going book shopping, but of course I do have a couple fall books that I would really love to still get to read before the season is over. So without further rambling, I'm just gonna grab my purse, I'm gonna head out the door, and we are gonna meet Kendal at Barnes & Noble.
spending all our money. Yay. Our banks are like, ooh.
Alright my friends, we are done with store number 1, Barnes & Noble. I definitely did some damage because I ended up getting 4 books instead of 2, thanks to my friend Brittany for coming in clutch, going in the back, and getting some new releases for me. So I'm excited to share these with you guys. I was not expecting to pick up 4 of them today, but this is like my last hurrah for a while with new releases because they're getting really expensive. We are now at store number 2, which is Mr. K's. I have 2 big totes that I'm gonna take in, so hopefully if I find anything, I won't actually be spending any money, which we love. So I will report back soon.
thick and you good?
Yeah.
You sure you
Not
good?
so much.
Sorry. Down store number 2, and I ended up with 5 books, 5 of which I was not expecting to buy, but they've been on my TBR list for quite a while now, and I think I have about 3 that could fit like a fall spooky season. So we're doing good on the fall books. We're about to hit store number 3, which is Second and Charles. I'm not expecting to find anything in here, but it is right next to Mr. K's, so it's hard to pass up and not go in there. Let's go ahead and see what we can find in store number 3.
from my long day out of book shopping. My feet are sore, but that's just a good sign that you had a good book shopping date with a friend. So now I'm going to share all the books I got. In total, I think I picked up 9 books, 4 of which are brand new releases. Some of these come out or will be out, I think, by the time this video goes out on my channel. And then a couple other books are just backlist books that I was able to find at my secondhand store. All, if not most of them, are fall books. First, we have one of my most anticipated books of the entire year, which is The Unfortunate Side Effects of Heartbreak and Magic. I am obsessed with this cover, but I remember finding out about this book. I can't remember if it was Goodreads or someone just kept posting about it on Instagram, but I quickly followed this author and fell in love with her and her heart and who she is. But she keeps marketing it as practical magic with Gilmore Girls vibes. Honestly, that's the only thing I needed to know. It is a charming debut novel that explores the shields we build around our hearts to retain our own magic. It sounds really cozy and magical, and it just sounds right up my alley, and I am already in love with the author, so I feel like I had to get this one. The next book that I picked up that I'm also screaming from the rooftops that I was able to get early, my friend Brittany, who, hi Brittany if you're watching this, she works at my local Barnes & Noble, and anytime there's a book that's coming out and if I arrive at the bookstore a little bit early, I ask her if she can go in the back and see if they have any copies that she's able to give me early. And this was one of them because it did not say it was in store or online or anything, but that is Black Sheep by Rachel Harrison. I'm in love with this cover. It's so creepy, but I also love the baby pink color. The only way I can describe Rachel Harrison is it's like cozy feminine horror, but I feel like there's a lot of good topics that Rachel Harrison explores in every single one of her books. She not only makes her books really meaningful, but she always packs a punch with the lessons and morals like in her books, and I just love her characters. I get invested so quickly in her books, and I'm not huge on horror, so I feel like the fact that I love her as an author says a lot. I just know it says on the inside that there's a black sheep of every family, so I'm very curious where she's going to take that idea, but I'm so here for the ride. Next, I have a book that I loved from an author that I read from last year, and that is Hex Education by Maureen Kilmer. I believe Suburban Hell was her debut, if I'm not mistaken. I loved that book. This one is about a trio of friends who accidentally burn down their dorm, and soon after they are scattered. I think something happens like 20 years later where they reunite. It looks witchy, obviously. I'm obsessed with this cover, but if you love humor or quirky characters in your horror, this is definitely one I'm sure you're gonna want to check out. And the last new release I did not think I was gonna be able to find, yes, my wallet is now screaming, but it was so worth it, is A Study in Drowning by Ava Reed. She also wrote Juniper and Thorn. I've heard nothing but great things about this author. This one, obviously, from the cover, it's dark academia. It is a standalone, and the inside is actually this nice teal blue, which I'm obsessed with. I'm very excited about this one. I'm definitely going to be reading it as soon as possible. So I actually did not find any books at Second and Charles, but I was able to get $89 or $90 of store credit from Mr. K's, which is fantastic. So all of these books I got were free. I was able to find a couple spooky middle grade, which I'm very excited for. I really want to do like a reading spooky middle grade for a week type of vlog, but I was able to pick up 2 of them, one of them being Scritch Scratch by Lindsay Curry. I do own 2 or 3 other of her books, and I really love The Girl in White. That one has been like my favorite so far. This one I know is set in Chicago, and I am from Chicago. I'm starting to drift off to sleep when a faint scratching sound starts up in the wall behind my head. Oh my gosh, that just sounds so crazy. I guess the main character's dad of this book, he does ghost tours downtown Chicago. I don't know if that's a real thing, but if it is, whenever I visit Chicago and go home next, I'm definitely gonna have to figure that out if that's a thing, because that sounds really fun. I got this one for $2.65, and I'm not gonna lie, it's in pretty good condition. I also have the Bellwoods game. I think I picked this one up for $9, but again, free with in-store credit. At that that moment, as if in answer to Madison's words, a bell tolled from somewhere deep in the woods. Clang, clang, clang. A fresh wave of goosebumps cascaded down Bailey's arms. The words from her journal rang in her head over and over again. Bad omen. I don't know what in the world that means, but it definitely looks like these kids are running from something. This cover is really creepy because you have like two green eyes at the top. It just looks very autumnal and it looks perfect for this time of year. So I'm hoping this one will be really good. I also picked up a young adult horror, which I have not dabbled in much. I think horror is probably my favorite young adult horror that I've ever read, but this one is called Go Hunt Me by Kelly Davos. I kept seeing this around a lot last year and it intrigued me, but I was waiting to see if there's any good reviews on it. I had one friend that really loved this, and so I'm willing to give it a shot and see if I do as well. This one is, I think, about some teenagers who are wanting to film in a spooky castle. The castle that inspired Bram Stoker's Dracula. The stage is set, the roles are doled out, and the eerie castle has been booked. Alex Rush has all the makings for an epic film, but something or someone else unexpected may be lurking in the shadows. This sounds so creepy. I love the cover and I got it for only $5. Next, I have A Witch to Remember by Heather Blake. My last Patreon book club for August was also by this author. I think she writes under the name Heather Weber, and Heather Blake may be a pen name, I'm not exactly sure. But a lot of my patrons were saying they loved this witchcraft mystery series, and I'm not too keen on the cover, but it's witchy, it sounds great for this time of year, and it has to do with a wedding. There's also a psychic. It was really cheap. I think it's a pretty long series, but people have been saying they actually like this one a lot better than the one we read for my Patreon book club, which was At the Coffee Shop of Curiosities. So I'm willing to give this author another shot, and I don't know, it could be a surprise. Well, these are all the books that I picked up. I would say it's a pretty good stack. I'm really excited about all of these finds, especially the new releases. But my favorite part about today was just going and hanging out with Kendal. It's been a while since we've hung out, and she's my favorite book shopping buddy. So if you guys have not checked out Kendal's channel, I'm sure you'll see some content from today over on her channel at some point as well. But thank you so much for coming book shopping with me. This was such a fun time. I don't think I've done like a dedicated book shopping video on my channel ever, so this was really fun. Let me know if you guys want to see another video like this in the future. Maybe we can do like a Christmas or holiday edition. Let me know if any of these books are on your radar, if you're planning to read any of the new releases. Let me know if there's anything else I need to pick up before the fall season is over. But I love you guys so much. Thank you for supporting my channel, and I will see you in my next video.